I'm Tricia, an organic gardener. Canning is a great way to extend your harvest into the winter months. Today we're going to demonstrate canning of low-acid vegetables, like green beans. Water bath canning is great for pickles, chutneys, fruits, and high-acid tomatoes. But for low-acid vegetables and meats, you'll need a pressure canner. If your pressure canning time is more than 10 minutes, you'll need clean jars. While washing, check your jars with your finger for any defects in the jars or lids that may prevent a seal. And make sure that your rubber rings are nice and pliable too. I like this All-American pressure canner. It's made of heavy-duty aluminum in Wisconsin, and it features a metal-to-metal seal and a weighted pressure regulator. Before you start canning, make sure your pressure pipe is clear. To prevent your lid from getting scratched or sticking, you lubricate the edges about every third or fourth time you use the pot. Fill your canner with about 1.5 inches of water and never let your canner run dry. That can ruin it. Place the canning rack rim down into the canner. Never place the canning jars directly on the bottom of the canner. The heat may damage the jars. To get a good batch of green beans, harvest or buy 9 pounds of green beans. Choose thin, young, and tender pods. Discard those that are moldy, bug-nibbled, or discolored. Wash your beans thoroughly, and you can snap them in half if you prefer. I like to leave mine whole. Remove the tops of the beans. Kitchen shears make this job easy. I'm going to blanch the beans before canning. That means putting the beans in a large pot with enough water to cover and bringing it to a boil for about 5 minutes. For flavor, you can add about a half teaspoon of salt to each jar, although this is not necessary for preserving. Once they're finished blanching, pack the jars loosely with beans. Add the hot water that the beans were blanched in into the jars. Because green beans tend to swell in processing, leave 1 inch of space at the top of the jar. This space will be called head space in your canning recipe. Now place your jars in the canner. If you aren't processing enough food to fill the entire canner, put some water-filled jars into the canner so the jars don't bang into each other during processing. So just place the cover on the canner. Tighten down the wing nuts, but not completely. Then, in an alternating pattern, tighten them down completely. You want to make sure that there's a uniform gap all around the canner. That's normal. Turn the heat on high to bring the water in the canner to a boil. And don't put the regulating weight on yet. Once you see the steam from the vent pipe, set a timer for 7 minutes. This process is called exhausting. The pressure regulator has settings from 5, 10 to 15 pounds per inch. Time's up! The beans call for 15 pounds of pressure above 1,000 feet elevation. When the correct pressure has been reached, the regulator weight will jiggle and allow some steam to escape. Watch the heat. If the regulator weight jiggles more than 4 times a minute, turn down the heat. Start the processing time. 25 minutes is what's necessary for the quart jars. After the 25 minutes, just turn off the heat and let the canner depressurize. Do not remove the regulator weight yet. Wait until the pressure gauge reads 0. Once the pressure reaches 0, with a mitt on, slowly remove the regulating weight. Open the cover, wearing oven mitts, and open the side that is opposite to you first to avoid being scalded by steam. Lift out the jars and place them on a towel or a wooden cutting board to cool completely and seal. Leave them undisturbed overnight. When you remove the clips, the lid should not move. If a jar has failed to seal, put it in the refrigerator and eat the food promptly. Store your jars in a cool, dark place with the clips off and the tabs facing outward. Do some pressure canning and grow organic for life.